What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new video. And today, it is time that we do a post-mortem of the town hall that took place on CNN yesterday. As many of you probably know and watched yesterday with us, we saw Nikki Haley have a town hall on CNN just a couple weeks after the notorious Trump one. And to say this was kind of a disaster for Nikki Haley's campaign is an understatement. Basically, everything she could have said that was wrong, she said on certain issues that matter to many voters. I mean, I still want to know, first of all, why are you running for president? Second of all, do you seriously believe what you said yesterday was great news and that's going to help you surge in the polls? Because I guarantee you, or I should say guarantee, I should say it is very likely that when the polling comes out the next couple of days, Haley's number goes down. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell. Follow the Twitter accounts in the description down below. Guys, go follow Real American Politics on Twitter. It is a great Twitter account everyone should follow. Of course, follow the Rumble page for exclusive content. And of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $3 a month, you could join Real American, which is a phenomenal deal, as it helps support the daily content we all know and love. You love the daily content? Well, this is the best way to support it. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Alright, everybody. So, Nikki Haley had a town hall on CNN in the state of Iowa yesterday. And I gotta say, there were some subjects that were okay answers. They were kind of generic, but, they were decent answers. But for the vast majority of the debate, it was either cringe or just outright baffling. I mean, we had a cringe counter on the stream. Again, you should go watch a replay of the stream. The cringe counter broke within 10 minutes of the town hall starting. That's how bad it got real quickly for Nikki Haley. Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley criticized former President Trump and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis several times during her CNN town hall in Des Moines, Iowa on Sunday evening. Haley, who served as an ambassador to the United Nations during the Trump administration, said her Republican presidential rivals are not being honest with the American people on entitlement reform. What? Excuse me? And this is my problem with Nikki Haley's campaign. In what world do you think this is a good idea to talk about entitlement reform? Look, if you're talking about, getting rid of the cap, payroll tax and stuff like that, that's one thing. But she clearly meant the retirement age. She clearly meant the retirement age. And we talk, we're not being honest. We've been saying for how many years now that Social Security is going to run out? Like, 30 years? Guess what? The Social Security system is outside the regular budget. There's a reason that it's not going to run out for a while. Yes, it's becoming a problem. Absolutely. We have to make sure it doesn't become insolvent. But this fear-mongering, it's like the climate change stuff. 10 years ago, 2015, New York City was supposed to be flooded. It was supposed to be below water. Yeah, how's that looking? I'm pretty sure New York City is actually sinking right now. But either way, they've been saying this for years about Social Security. Yes, there needs reform to make it, sustainable for 30 years down the line. Absolutely. But they're saying the same thing they said 30 years ago. 20, 10. They've been saying this for years. And so far, it's not come to fruition. Nothing. So that question was pretty bad. We can't keep kicking this can down the road, said the former South Carolina governor, who supports changing retirement age for Americans who are now in their 20s, to CNN's Jack Tapper, who, again, that's one thing. If it was like a 1-year increase after 40 years, that's one thing. But we all know what she really meant. She meant like a 5-year increase over 10 years. Let's be real here. She's only saying this to make it sound better than it is. Because remember, they said 10 years from now, Social Security is going to run out. Then why are you changing this for people in their 20s, which is 40 years down the line? If it's happening in 10 years, when you want immediate changes, it just proves my point. It's bull. She either wants to jack up retirement age by like 5 years now, or it's just a grift. It's a complete and total scam when it comes to this issue. Trump has warned Republicans to avoid making any immediate change to Medicare or Social Security, which is, this is common sense. You don't say, yes, you may be 50, but you're not getting your Social Security until you're 70. So instead of retiring at like 66 or whatever, you're retiring at 70 now. Yeah, that's sure a very popular position. And you notice, these Reaganites on Twitter, who, by the way, they don't even know who Reagan was. They just look at my tax cuts and say, I'm a Reaganite. Even though Reagan was a lot more than that. There was a lot of bad, but there was a lot of good. Either way, guess what? Even he didn't make much change in Social Security. Even he understood that we're not going to run out of Social Security for a while. Why do you think Bernie Sanders, of all people, quoted him on the issue? Because guess what? People don't understand how the Social Security system works. You just pay the payroll tax and it goes through a separate fund. Again, there should be reform, but it's like Trump is right. You can't tell people that are about to retire there's going to be immediate changes to Social Security. You just can't. And then immediately say, no, these plans are only going to take an effect for those in their 20s, even though they want Social Security to change now. You see the problem with this thinking? Anybody with 5 seconds of thought could realize, wait a minute, that doesn't make much sense. Though his administration did plan to cut food stamp benefits before a judge blocked the move, which is completely different. Food stamps is a complete scam. I mean, there's people that get food stamps which they shouldn't get anything from the government. They're abusing the system. And food stamps are supposed to be a necessity. Now they're just becoming freaking a scam. And that's a completely different thing. But either way, with Medicare and Social Security, absolutely stupid to even consider trying to get rid of it, or even try to jack up the retirement age. During her town hall in the Grandview University, Haley broke with the 2024 Republican frontrunner Trump's stance on Russia's invasion of Ukraine. This is my problem with Haley the most. Foreign policy. Sure, I have some problems when it comes to Social Security and stuff like that. But when it comes to foreign policy, this is where we hit the bottom of the barrel when it comes to Nikki Haley. Absolute, we are below the barrel. We are in like 50 feet of crap at this point. Because she is a full-blown neocon who wants wars. I mean, she wants to start a war in Afghanistan. I don't think it says it here, but remember, she's saying, well, Afghanistan, we never negotiate with terrorists. Yada, yada. She basically was saying, we need to get back in Afghanistan. When we lost tens of thousands of people to that nonsensical war that should have ended years ago. The pullout ended in disaster. It was a good idea, but they did it poorly. That doesn't mean we have to stay there. But this whole Ukraine stuff. Again, I'm not a fan of Russia, right? Because I think they're being far too aggressive here. But at the same time, why are we supporting Ukraine? We spent like, what, $150 billion on this country? One of the most corrupt nations on earth? And like 3 times the military spending of Russia? And so far they're losing ground now? One of those corrupt countries on earth? It's like, why? What benefit do we get from Ukrainians and Russians shooting each other? We should be the brokers of peace. And even former President Trump said last month that he negotiated with both sides to end the war. Which, by the way, that war could end immediately if you tell Ukraine, either stop the war now or we're cutting all aid to you. And same thing with Russia, even though I think we already did that. But this is such a simple fix. It's a nonsensical war that should end. We shouldn't be supporting either side. There's no benefit. Okay, if worst case scenario, Russia takes Ukraine. Okay, how does this change American influence? Or How has this impacted American foreign policy? Do you really think Putin's going to invade NATO? Do you really believe he's going to invade Estonia, which is a NATO country? You're crazy if you think that. So Trump has the correct stance. It shouldn't matter who we want to win. We should stop the war, broker peace, to stop all the killing. While Nikki Haley's saying, well, we need to continue it is our best interest of national security for Ukraine to win. Why? What benefit does Ukraine winning get us? Millions of people dead? Or I should say hundreds of thousands of people dead? A territorial dispute, excuse me. That's just not the case. Or to say that we should stay neutral. It is. You can disagree with what's happening. And I do. I think the war is nonsensical. But this goes back far before Putin. This is from years before Putin. This crap was starting. So, yeah, it is somewhat of a territorial dispute. You can dispute how much is that really is, or just Putin just want to invade Ukraine. Either way, it's none of our business. If it's not an ally, why should we really care what happens? It's one thing if there was, atrocities like genocide happening, which they try to claim it happens even though there's no proof of it. But if there was genocide or something like that, that's one thing. But just because Russia bad, that's not a valid reason to get involved in this nightmare of a war. Haley also took aim at Trump for congratulating North Korea leader Kim Jong-un, who I agree the statement was cringe, but it seemed more like a joke. So yeah, as you can tell, the rest of this is just generic, She copied Trump's immigration platform word for word, but the big thing was a foreign policy. And this is why Nikki Haley shouldn't be anywhere near the presidency. Because we probably get a World War III right away. Because she wants us to get involved in Ukraine. It's none of our business. Yes, it sucks both sides. People are dying. I'm not denying that's an awful thing. But when we have roads that are still pothole filled, you have our healthcare system is a complete clown show, and yeah, we don't have enough money to fix it, but we could spend $150 billion on a foreign entity that's one of the most corrupt in the world. Well, start doing the math. It's a waste of money, and it's not our job. Our job is to broker peace, not a continuous war. And again, I'm not supporting either side. The war should end right now. And with President Trump, I think it would. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much. Godspeed to all of you.